Hey, what's up, guys? As a Snake here, and the main reason why I'm making this video because I remember, like, I believe 3 weeks ago, I stumbled upon a friend's video. It's saying something like, "Why do people hate Final Fantasy VII?" Which that caught me off guard because usually when you talk to anybody, they the only thing they talk about when it comes to Final Fantasy is Final Fantasy VII, sometimes six, and you do hear 10, but but um but yeah, it's quite odd to me that he said, why do people hate Final Fantasy 7. I found out who he was. I found out the fans who he was talking about was those are wrong. Those are not the right fans. Those from somebody else's channel. It's just the first. I found it was just somebody from somebody else's channel. Uh, that guy's channel and his fan base didn't like seven. But then again, when you talk to many Final Fantasy fans, they would tell you that Final Fantasy VII is their favorite, or Final Fantasy VII that they believe is the pinnacle of the franchise. Of course, you're going to get those. They're going to say it's overhyped or it wasn't as great, whatever. But then again, that's all opinionated. But most likely, you're going to hear more praise than we're going to hear more diss. Basically, yeah, like you hear more praise than negativity. But then again, I gotta say, it just proved to you, like, there's only those certain people you listen to. That's what I'm trying to say. But anyway, on to the video. What it was, I was gonna carry on. What really, now this is what really inspired me to make this video, and that would really inspire me. That incident would really inspire me to make the video of why Final Fantasy VII is the most loved out the franchise. Now, going back to my friend's video, he did say something like it was people was loved for something about like it was praised for its technical for it for what it technically did, like basically the graphics, what it it was like a technical achievement on a PlayStation 1. That was true, but I was pretty upset that he stopped at that. Now I'll say this: I don't know why. It's just the fact that it kind of bothered me that he only talked about that part. But I will add to this: the reason why Final Fantasy VII was guaranteed one of the best Final Fantasies, or it praised for what it was, mainly because not only it did things, not only it was a technical achievement, it was a different Final Fantasy altogether. It was way different from what you got from Final Fantasy 6 and what you got from from the rest of the Final Fantasies that came before it. Because usually when you think about the older Final Fantasy, they usually dealt with kingdoms and stuff like that. This went for a different route. I would say more grounded. I won't say realistic, but it was a bit more of a grounded Final Fantasy, because you were dealing with, instead of dealing with different kingdoms, you are dealing with the small guys versus the big corporation versus a mystical group, which I'm not going, for those that haven't played with. I don't know who haven't played Final Fantasy 7, which is going to be odd to me, but yeah, basically you're going to get into pretty much the small groups versus the big corporation, which was Shinra, and then of course there's other parts of the story that goes on too. And then on top of it, this was a story of loss. This was a story. Pretty much the theme of Final Fantasy 7 was loss. Everybody in your party or everybody around you lost something. And this was, I would say, a more darker feeling Final Fantasy game than anything. And also, one of the main big things that Final Fantasy VII has done also, which it was still turn-based, but it evolutionized turn-based gaming, because I believe back in the day, it was pretty much, the enemy take their turn, you take your turn, the enemy take your turn, you take your turn. Now, what they did in this one, which I could be wrong, but then again, if I am, I'm sorry. But I would say this: Final Fantasy 7. If Final Fantasy 7 was not the only one that brought it to the table, then I would say, well, Final Fantasy 7 was the main one to really bring it to the forefront. But Final Fantasy 7, instead of then y'all two taking turns and waiting for each other. Basically you take a turn, the enemy take a turn, you take a turn, the enemy take a turn. Now is if you don't react fast enough, they would hit you. Basically, it's still that take your turn, y'all two taking turns. But if you decide to wait and still decide, the enemy will still take advantage and hit you. And that was really I'll say really evolutionized. Really evolutionized. The top of that, the summons was incredible. There's also something technically achievement. There's also a technical achievement of Final Fantasy 7. Just in fact how the summons look, it was incredible. Just seeing you, I remember seeing Ifrit in action. I was so amazed. But yeah, but also yeah, I just want to share this. Basically, Final Fantasy 7 was not only known for one thing; it was known for many areas that it succeeded in. Even though the original release had some issues as far as translation wise, but the journey, the adventure, the journey, the adventure, which that's pretty much the same thing. The story, the gameplay, and also combined with the visuals of the game, gave it enough to stand out of all the games that was coming out, and also what were claimed it to be the best, not only just the best Final Fantasy at the time, but also one of the best, JRPG at the time. Anyway, guys, I'm about to end my video. Hopefully, I made certain things clear. I know I stumbled pretty much, and I was just trying to come up with things on the fly. But this is this is where pretty much Final Fantasy 7 is seated at back in the day. But anyway, guys, I'll catch you in the next video. Peace out. And yeah, I didn't want to see this part. I'm sorry. Okay, peace out, guys.